What's good, YouTube? Welcome back for episode 9 of Automating an Empire. In the last episode, we set up our little hangar bay area over there. In this episode, I want to try to get some needlers printed off so we can actually use the hangar bay. And go ahead and start getting everything set up to get all of our materials auto-mined for us. So in order to do that, I'm actually going to have to finish off placing a lot of the floor here. I don't know if I want to make a permanent fixture for this yet, or if I just want to use something temporary. For the time being, I guess temporary would work just fine. I'm not 100% sure where I want to control the printer from. I think what I'm going to end up doing is taking this back wall back here and actually make an incline going down to reach the rest of the base, and when I do that, I'll probably put a control room right up here where we can see directly over the hangar bay area, and that's probably what I'll end up controlling everything from, is the control room. It should have all of our LCD outputs and things like that. So for the time being, I'm just going to work on actually filling out the walls here that we know that we're going to keep, and the flooring here. That way we can go ahead and start printing some stuff off. While we have quite a bit automated right now, I want to work on the automation a lot more. We're going to have auto miners running around picking up materials for us. I'm going to have an auto building system that I'm going to actually be using blueprints for, and an auto drilling platform to where I can actually drill everything out exactly how I want to get it set up. I believe I'm going to be using a series of pistons and the hinged conveyors in order to dig this area out here. So that's going to be pretty interesting. I've got some plans in for that. I also want to make a large grid ship, so basically whenever I have anything like this that's out of reach or whatever, all I'll have to do is put a GPS above it, and the large grid ship will actually run around from GPS node to GPS node and auto disassemble everything. I may end up doing something like that to do with mining as well. I'm not 100% sure, but it'll just keep making rounds from GPS to GPS and basically using a series of timer blocks and an autopilot go ahead and pick everything up. That's one of my projects I want to get into shortly. I just need to finish this hangar bay up, and then I can start automating the building process here using blueprints. I'll actually be shooting video when we're designing the base, and then we're just going to blueprint it directly into the game from there. Yeah, like this would be a perfect time to actually have the GPS thing that I was just talking about set up.
In 20 seconds.
The shield just tossed that thing right on into the wall there. That's pretty cool. And I believe it lost all of its weapon systems and shield and everything when that happened. Okay, so I figured out these lasers don't work while the shield's recharging. I'm gonna have to figure out something in order to make the shield stronger. Oh, that definitely worked. We just chopped that thing in half. So yeah, this would be a perfect opportunity for the auto gathering system that I was talking about, where it could just run around and pick all this stuff up. I gotta say though, the defenses on this base are pretty strong. We just had 2 Formic invaders come up and handled both of them without much issue. I think they managed to destroy like 2 blocks right here. That was it. Yeah, that seems about right. We got a crash happening. Let's see where it crashes. That's perfectly fine. Alright, so get back to work over here now that all the excitement's over. Okay, I finished up the walls and the floors. Now I just need to think of a way that I can get back and forth between these two areas. I think I want to use a little bit of an elevator. I just got to figure out where I want to place that. I think right here may be a good spot for it. Alright, so I've got a little bit of a stairway here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piston. Let me get rid of this right here so I can actually run it through here. Make sure it reaches where I want it to reach. It's exactly where I wanted it. Good. And delete the flooring here. Okay, so in order to do this, we're going to actually need some smaller blocks than full-size blocks here so we can get a decent setup. So I'm going to use these blocks. And I may actually use some catwalk here to put on top of these and just make sure that I don't go too high with that. So let me back that down slightly. All right, there we go. That's going to work out perfectly, actually. Now I need to paint these. And we'll test this out. So basically, let's see, I need a button right over on the other side there too. I gotta fix that real quick. It needs to be slightly taller, doesn't it? Okay. Alright, so now it's set up to where we can get on and off of this very easily. Let me put a catwalk here. Well, actually we need a button. So let's go for that first. I'm going to put the button panel on the wall. This will just be to reverse this piston. That's all it does. Yeah. This is working out nicely. I got to speed this up a little bit, but that'll be fine. And I'm going to do another right here to reverse the piston as well. Now, all I got to do is speed up the piston and we will be good to go. Okay, that's that's 0.5, so we're gonna go for say 1 and see how fast that's gonna be. That should be the right speed here. It feels better. I like that a lot better. Alright, so we have an access point into here from there and vice versa. So, and this is a clang free setup too. Now, what I could do to make this a little bit better, I could add another catwalk here. That way we won't accidentally step through the hole. So as long as we step on this, we hit the button, it brings us down. I think we could go for about a 2 speed. Let's try that out. Yeah, 2's much better. I like that. Alright, so that is done. Now we need to think about... First thing I've got to do is I've got to come over here and cut off all the build and repair. The reason I need to do this is because I'm about to use... Make sure all of that's... Alright. Turn it off. Because I'm about to use something... Ooh, sorry. Okay, I'm going to temporarily put a piston here so we can start printing off our stuff. So I put a small head here by removing the rotor head with the grinder and then attaching small head. Actually, I did the wrong thing there. And attaching small head. Alright. Now we can build small grid off of here. And a projector. Now we're going to line the projector up, so that means I'll show you how to line them up real quick. If you look at the lines here, these 2 lines right here, this is the front of the projector, and this will be the top with the plus sign. You notice how the rest of them don't have that? That's how you set that projector up. So before I do that, I need to cut off all the build and repair. The reason why is because we're about to throw a projection in here and we've got to get it set up before we can do anything with it. Otherwise it'll just start building. So I'm gonna put a button panel here, or a control seat here. There's a reason for it. This is so we can get it all set up. Let's sit it right here. That should be a good spot to see everything from. Alright, so now that that's done, we'll hop in here and watch over here. So what I need to do here is I need to find the projector. And I want to put the controls for the projector on here. So that would be increase horizontal, decrease horizontal, and so forth and so on. That way I can control where this is at from the seat here. I'm going to hit Control 2 and then I'm going to start with the pitch and yaw and roll. And then hit K, find the projector, and then choose a blueprint of what we're going to build. So what we're going to build here is going to be the needler. I believe this is the correct, actually it should be the needler 2, if I remember correctly, should be the most up to date. Alright, so we click that and we choose that, and then we find the projector again. This is going to be important for what we're doing here. I want to make sure that we keep projection when we're done. There's an actual reason for that. Alright, so now that we can see everything that's going on, we're going to spin it around and then we're going to move it up. And everything is out of the way there, so we are good to go there. And now that we've got that where we want it, we can actually cut our building repair back on. Alright, now that that's back on, all I have to do is place a couple blocks here and it will automatically make everything. There we go. Now one thing I want to do here is I want to set this up real quick. Sorry that's so loud. Okay, so I want to set this up to grind before, or weld before grind. The reason why is because then all we have to do is paint this block right here to be removed after. That'll let us know exactly when it's finished. It'll print this one off, remove the block, and then we can just move forward, leaving the projection behind, park this thing, and the next one's ready to be built. And we just need to do that a few more times and we'll be good to go. Actually, we can place a green block here. Since it's weld before grind, and it'll automatically remove that block when it's done. The clang you hear is happening from the rotor. Don't worry about that too much. It's not gonna break anything. Okay, it did break something, but nothing serious. So I'm just going to do the same thing here with the adding or attaching the head, and I'm gonna have to do the whole thing over again with the... Okay, back to fixing. Oh. It welded off the head. Interesting. That would explain everything. It was the wrong color is what the problem was. Just to be on the safe side, I think it may have something to do with the battery. It's an unpowered block at that point when we disconnect, so I'm just going to add a quick battery on the back of this just to make sure it's a powered block now. So build and repair will not delete it. Let me make sure I've got keep projection set. There we go. And now this should work. As far as I can tell, it's working this time, so we are good. Alright, that did work, and I went on and grouped all of the sorters on each one of these and numbered them accordingly. So this one's got a sorter 2, 3, 4, 5, so I can disable them with a hotbar. I also want to build a whole group of nothing but all the sorters and have a button to cut them on and off on the wall or something. That way when I reload and it starts spitting out all the stone, I can just hit the button to cut all of them off. Now, isn't this interesting? It missed some of this. Not a lot, but some of it. Some of the armor blocks are missing here. Did it do that on the others? No, it didn't. It did what it was supposed to do on the others. That's interesting. And that one worked correctly too. Interesting. It did it again. That time, it seems like it gets a little bit behind and it misses things. I think that's what it is. And it probably wouldn't do that if we didn't have it set up to automatically disconnect. But it just seems to be that one little spot that keeps missing, so we can deal with that. And the last thing I need to do now is I need to go ahead and paint these up. So Shift P to grab the color, Shift Control middle mouse button to paint the entire thing. And there we go, completely done and ready to go. Let's see, we've gotten quite a bit done in this episode. I'm pretty happy with it. In the next episode, we'll actually probably go set these guys up. I'm going to go ahead in between episodes and finish off that wall. I think that's the only thing we have left in here. So I'm going to finish that up in between episodes. In the next episode, we're probably going to go and get a couple of these guys mining for us. That way we've constantly got stuff coming in. There is another script that I need to figure out to work on in between those videos though, because we're going to want to set it up to where these guys go in and out in a pattern. There is a script to allow you to do that, and I will cover that in the next video. I just have to learn it myself real quick. Thank you for watching the video all the way through. If you haven't already, please drop a like to let me know that you did. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. If you like what you saw and you want to see more, click one of the 2 videos on your screen now. Thank you. Have a nice day.